Good morning, boys and girls. It's Miss Lassie, and today we're going to start learning about the letter S and review our number 13. But let's begin with our calendar today. Today is Thursday, April the 9th. The month we are in is April. It's the fourth month of the year. Let's sing our months of the year song. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, and August, September, October, November, December. These are the months of the year. There are 12. The day of the week is Thursday. Let's sing our days of the week song. There are 7 days, there are 7 days, there are 7 days in a week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The number of the day is 9, April the 9th. Let's see if we can figure out our pattern today. We have an umbrella, a tulip, a frog, umbrella, tulip, frog, umbrella, tulip, frog. What number do you think will come, or what picture do you think will come next first? We did tulip, frog. Did you say umbrella? That's right. And 10 comes after 9. So that'll be tomorrow's date. But today is Thursday, April the 9th. Let's count together, and let's count all the way up to 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Today we're going to learn the letter that begins the word spring. It's beautiful and spring outside, and the letter that starts the word spring has that sound like you hear in snake or scissors, and the word is spring, but the letter that begins it is the letter S. So that's the letter we're going to focus on today. Say the words after me that begin with the letter S. Sun, strawberry, sheep, snake, scissors, shark, ship. Let me show you how to make a letter S. If I draw some handwriting paper here, I begin at the ceiling of my box, make a curve to the middle, and then turn my curve backwards and come back the other way. That's a capital letter S. The lowercase letter S looks the same as the capital. It's just shorter. You start at the middle, come around to the curve and go backwards, and you have an S. That's how you make the letter S. Let's see if we can find the S on our alphabet chart. Here it says S is for sun. You hear the S at the beginning of the word sun. Let's sing our alphabet all the way to S now that we do when we practice at school. A says A. B says B like Benton and Benjamin. C says K like Caroline. D says D. E says F says F like Finn and Fletch. G says G. H says H. Hudson. I says I like the beginning of Isla. J says J, just like joy. K says K like Catherine. L says O like Miss Lassie. M says like Magnus and Madison. N says numbers O says ah. P says p. Q says qu like quiet. R says like rabbit. S says s like Skylar. Now we've sung our alphabet. Do you know, I'm so excited. Today is the day that we got to the letter where everybody in our class's name was able to be put in the song. We got Skylar's. She was the last one. I hope you'll practice these with your family at home. One of the things that begins with the letter S is scissors, and we've worked really hard this year to practice our scissor skills. So I thought I would take a little time today and review some of those things that you can show your mom and dad at home. I have a little poem that I want to teach you about how to hold your scissors. It says, I'm gonna get my scissors ready so we can practice this together. Open, shut, that's the way we cut, cut, cut. Tuck your elbows nice and tight. Make sure you hold your scissors right. Fingers on the bottom, thumb on top. Do not let your paper drop. Hold your scissors straight, not down. Turn your paper round and round. Open, shut, that's the way we cut, cut, cut. Here's something that you can practice and do at home to help your boys and girls to remember this. Since the thumb goes on the top, I'm going to put a little bit of washi tape. You can do a sticker, but washi tape does go around it a little easier and it stays better to remember where our thumb goes. That will help us. Remember in the poem it says, hold your elbows nice and tight. One thing you can do too is put a book or a piece of paper when your kid's trying to cut and encourage them to hold it and not drop it, so that it helps them to remember they've got to keep that elbow nice and tight against their side. One common problem with boys and girls that are learning to cut with scissors is they turn their scissors down and not up. So one thing that will help with that is to take a marker or a Sharpie or even a smiley face sticker if you have later and put a little smiley face or a mark on the side that's pointing up, and then you can encourage them to look for that and say, if you can't see your little smiley face, then you've got to turn your scissors where you can see them, and that will help them to do a little bit better. One resource I want to tell you about today that's good for Easter is found at itsybitsyfun.com. I'll also put this in the email to you today, but I found these really adorable preschool pre-cutting Easter sheets. They're free. You can print them out at itsybitsyfun.com. There's Easter eggs. There's all kinds of different kind of lines, bunnies, chicks. This, even if your kid's a more advanced cutter, you can do this rounded curves and a star for an Easter basket. So I hope you can find those sometime if you want to do this and print them out. I think you'll enjoy doing those scissor skills as well. Okay. Do you remember what our number of the week is? It's 13. You make a 13 by making a 1 and a 3. Let's practice writing 13 now. Do you remember the poem that we learned? Here it has how it goes. A 1 is, number 1 is like a stick, a straight line down and very quick. You start at the top and make your straight line down very quick. Around a tree, that's the way you make a 3. If I erase my little trees in here, you'll see it becomes a number 3, and we have the number 13. This is what the number 13 looks like when you write it in letters. 13. So we're going to do this number one more time without the picture so you can see. Let me erase this all the way. Number 1 is like a stick, a straight line that is very quick. Around a tree, that's the way you make a 3. Let's practice counting to 13 with my calendar numbers. I have string, which starts with the letter S, and scissors, which starts with the letter S, and I'm going to cut 13 pieces, and you can count with me. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Are you counting with me at home? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're almost to 13. 9. Oh, there's a piece left over. 10, 11, 12, and finally the number 13. Very good. You can look on the YouTube channel for Liberty Pals, and you'll see Miss Danielle is going to practice today going over and holding up the sheets that are in the Becca for both letter S and number 13. The letter S practice sheets are number 115 and 117, and it will have pictures of things that start with letter S, and you can practice your child's pencil grip and going around each letter. You can also see a video of her doing the Becca number pages 117 and 119. On 117, you'll be counting and coloring flowers. On 119, Miss Danielle is going to be talking about our senses. One of our senses is taste, and boys and girls are asked to match sweet and salty and sour foods. So that'll be a good discussion for you to do as well. Hi boys and girls, I have a special Easter story that was one of my children's favorites when they were little, and I'm going to share that as a bonus read aloud this week. The name of it is The Parable of the Lily by Liz Curtis Higgs. One wintry day, the farmer's young daughter shuffled through the snow, headed for the mailbox at the end of the lane. It was cold. She peered inside the mailbox and found a small white envelope. Surprise! It was addressed to her. Dear Maggie, the letter began, I'm sending a very special gift just for you. Look for it soon. Maggie loved to get presents, especially a gift as mysterious as this one. When would it come? Who was it from? What would it be? The farmer's daughter waited and waited, some days patiently and some days not so patiently. Then one very ordinary afternoon, a box appeared on her doorstep. The gift had arrived. The farmer watched as his daughter excitedly tore off the wrapping paper. He was eager to see what she thought of the present. But Maggie didn't say a word. She just stared at the small wooden crate full of dirt. Dirt was not at all what Maggie had hoped for. Poking out of the soil was a small piece of paper that told Maggie how to care for her gift. Hide in a cool, dark place. Water as needed. When spring comes, bring into the light. Then she knew it must be a growing thing, like a bulb that would someday bloom into a plant. Oh dear, her long-awaited gift wasn't a toy or a doll or a game after all. The farmer could see that his daughter was very disappointed. His heart grew sad. The gift was from him. With a sigh, Maggie carried the wooden box down the steps into the darkest corner of the cellar and left it there on a shelf. Sometimes she remembered to water it, but most of the time, Maggie just plain forgot. The farmer did not forget. He just waited, and he watched. Spring came at last. The air was warmer. The gray skies had melted into a robin's egg blue. What a welcome sight the sun was. It was time for the farmer to hoe his garden, getting the soil ready for the seeds that filled his pockets. Maggie wanted to help, so she marched down the cellar steps to get her own Maggie-sized gardening tools, and that's when it happened. Searching for her toolbox in the darkest corner of the cellar, Maggie knocked the forgotten crate of dirt off the shelf. Crash! The crate splintered into pieces. Soil was everywhere, and the flower bulb that rolled to her feet showed no signs of life. What a mess! Maggie was mad at that box and even madder at herself. She swept up the dirt and threw away the broken box, grumbling under her breath. And that old ugly flower bulb, she tossed it out the cellar door, never to think of it again. Until Maggie woke up earlier than usual Easter morning. A warm breeze blew through her bedroom window, and the chirping birds seemed to call her name. Still dressed in her nightgown, Maggie tiptoed out into the garden. She was hoping to find some daffodils or tulips to decorate the table for Easter breakfast. That's when she saw it. The loveliest lily that God ever made was blooming on the edge of her father's flower garden. Its white petals unfolded like a trumpet. Its leaves were green with new life. Its scent was as fragrant as the most expensive perfume. Maggie knew all at once what had happened. She didn't know whether to laugh or cry or shout with joy, so Maggie did all three at once. Wake up, everybody! Wake up! Come see! The gift is alive! Her family hurried out to the garden. They couldn't believe their eyes. So much beauty from such an ugly box of dirt. Maggie noticed the farmer standing in the doorway, quietly watching. His smile gave away his secret. "Father, it was you who gave me the lily," Maggie squealed with delight. Suddenly her little girl's smile began to fade. Oh dear. She'd thrown away her father's gift without so much as a thank you. How that must have hurt him. "I'm sorry, Daddy," she said, putting her little arms around his big waist. "Will you forgive me?" "Oh, my child," the farmer whispered, hugging her tight. "That's what Easter is all about."